Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? It's a Monday with no news, right? Throughout the whole week, we don't have much high impact news. So, seems like it's a fresh week. And USD high impact news, yes. So today we have a news at 10 o'clock, which is a medium impact new home sales. And I believe today is tradable, very much tradable. Than Tuesday, same thing. On Tuesday we got CB consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. Other than this, like, we got medium impact. Wednesday 8:30. Thursday at 8:30 we got two high impact news, and after that I believe we will be able to trade. Friday 10 o'clock ISM PMI, right? 10 and 11 o'clock, two news as on Friday. So throughout the whole week it seems good. So let's look at chat. What are you guys doing today? Delphine, good morning. Sylvia, good morning. Naeem, good morning. Adolfo, good morning. Okay, so let's start. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear, and after that we'll start. Sound good? Thank you. So let's start our stream. So I'll go through weekly and all the way down to the daily chart. Okay, sorry, all the way down to the 30-second, and we'll build our analysis from the weekly, and we'll see what our higher time frame and the lower time frame suggest to us and where the price is going today. So on weekly chart, this swing high right here is very clean, right? It's so near to the price, this swing high. So I'll keep an eye on this. This swing high got generated on 28th August. So I'll keep an eye on this. Other than this swing high, I don't see anything on weekly chart. A new weekly candle is forming a new power of 3. So we'll see what happens. We have been bullish throughout like 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So a month we have seen like very bullish delivery with very low retracement. So we'll see if price wanna clear this swing high out or not. So this is the level that I'm gonna take from the weekly chart, and this is our buy side liquidity. So let's go to the daily chart. And on daily chart, as you guys can see, this is our 40-day high, right? So now that I'm on daily chart, I'm gonna mark this one too. So these are relatively equal highs, right? On weekly chart, it was just a swing high, but here on daily chart, you can see we have two swings which are relatively equal to each other, and we also got a small fair value gap which is unfilled on daily chart. Do you guys see this? So this fair value gap is unfilled, and I told you guys that there are three types of PD arrays that price will always come back to. These are relatively equal high, trend line liquidity, liquidity levels, not PD arrays, and unfilled fair value gap. So we got an unfilled fair value gap as well as a relatively equal high right up here. So we'll see if price wanna go towards buy side or not. So our weekly and daily chart is suggesting to us price will move higher, right? As on weekly chart, this is a swing high which is very near to the price, and on daily chart, as we drop down to the daily, we saw this relatively equal high with this unfilled fair value gap. So daily and weekly suggesting us we are still bullish, right? We got a breaker here, these up close candles right here working as a breaker, right? As you can see, these up close candles, breaker, 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 and this got respected, this as well. So now we are trading off from this one. So what I'm gonna do, as you guys can see here, price respected this breaker beautifully today after the market opened on Sunday, right? Price came down, hit the breaker right up here, and is going towards buy side liquidity now. So our weekly daily chart is suggesting us we are bullish. We also identified a PD array from where price is getting support on daily chart, right? So this is our breaker. So today I'm only streaming with 2 monitors, okay? That's because yesterday I tried to put my setup in another room where there's like a big window there. So I was like, okay, if you guys will see me plus the snow that will fall behind me, so it will be good. But when I went there, I set up my camera, set up my setup, I turned on the camera, and it seems like you can see the background but not me. I'm all black because of the light that is coming. Like it was bright in the background and it was dark here. When the camera is focusing on my face, it's dark, but the background is good. So then I changed the setup again, and when I put in the setup, I saw that my 2 monitors are like broken. I don't know how I did that, but I believe it's my fault. So I'm only streaming with 2 setups, so I ordered 2 more. So here, one setup, here I'm watching you in this setup, and here in this setup I'm watching the chart. So I don't have other 2 monitors where I watch dollar and other pairs. So we'll see how we trade today without looking at other pairs. So this line is the breaker, and let's mark the breaker. So this level came at 33, where is it, 33,350, right? So very nice price level for price to get support from. Now let's drop down to the lower time frame. Our higher time frame is suggesting us a bullish price action, and let's see what's happening on lower time frame. So we got a relative equal low down here. So this is our relative equal low, and I believe this is the SMT. So let me check, because if it's the SMT, price already got support from the breaker here, right? Only if it's SMT, I will not consider price coming down, clearing out this relative equal high. Only if it's a SMT. So let's check with ES 4-hour chart. So this low got generated at 22, and this one got generated. So this is a SMT, right? So do you guys see this? You have a lower low right here. So, and this one is a lower high. So this is a SMT with ES. So you're also gonna keep this in mind. And yeah, this is a very clean SMT on ES. You can see we have a fair value gap with the order block. That's a high probability PD array. Price got support from it, right? So on ES too, we got this relative equal high. Relative equal high up here on ES. So our higher time frame is suggesting us higher price action, right? Bullish price action. Also we got a SMT here. Now let's see. Okay, this screen is too bright. Let me change the color. That's good now. Okay, so we got our SMT, we got a fair value gap, which is an inversion right here on 4-hour chart. So how will you know that this relative equal high is gonna getting taken will be taken out by price. How will you know that? That's why I marked this inversion right here. It's very important for you to understand these PD arrays and not targeting when you see relative equal low, you shouldn't be targeting it like without marking other PD arrays that you see above it. Okay, we have an equal low right here, but for price to reach and clear out this equal low, it will have to go below this inversion first. If this inversion is supporting price, right, then we know that price will move higher because price already got support from the breaker on the daily chart, right? So let me mark out the daily. So this is the daily breaker. So price already got support from daily breaker. We have a SMT down here, and we are also expecting a bullish price action as per our weekly and the daily chart. So for price to clear out, that's what I'm telling you, like how do you know that this SMT will be getting taken out? When this inversion, when price will go below this inversion, that's when you can expect to see price using this inversion as resistance and coming down and clearing out this SMT. As long as price is not doing that, okay, we can still expect to see price using this inversion as support towards buy side liquidity. Does it make sense? So this is something, folks, right? This is a knowledge that you won't be able to understand in hindsight. This is a knowledge that you will understand when price action is happening, when someone is teaching to you in live price action, what's happening there, why price should do that, right? So let's go to hourly chart. Hourly chart and our SMT down here. And what do we have here? What do we have? We generated another equal high. Yeah, if I put it simply, then it will be like support turning into resistance, resistance turning into support. I'm not gonna explain anything about IPTA because I don't care about fucking lazy people, okay? If you are so lazy to go on YouTube and watch our mentor's 3-hour video, then I don't have a relationship with you, okay? Go on my mentor's YouTube channel, watch his IPTA video that he made. It's very clear. He basically explained for 3 hours one concept. So this is our equal high, and yeah, seems like price is getting support, right? Price is bullish, and we also got another one right up here. Is it a SMT up here? Is it a SMT? Can anyone let me know in the chat if it's a SMT? Chat, let me know if it's a SMT with ES or Nasdaq. And we are seeing a bullish price action so far, right? We got our inversion here, so keep an eye on this one. This is an inversion, so here's our inversion. And let's go to 15-minute chart. On 15-minute, it's not a SMT. Okay, then this is a strong liquidity level, right? So our inversion is here. We got a swing low right above this inversion. So on 4-hour chart, as we got the inversion from 4-hour, this is unfilled. Okay, this inversion price is yet to hit this inversion from the 4-hour chart right here. So what do I see here? Other than this, it's a very bullish price action. Okay, there's another PD array that we should take consider of. This is a BPR. Okay, so this BPR, why is it a BPR? We got fair value gap here, fair value gap here, fair value gap here. So this is a balanced price range. This is a BPR, as we have multiple fair value gaps aligning with each other. Okay, so we got our bias. Do you guys see how easy it is to decide the bias? No stress, no pain. no overthinking. It's just marking out the levels that price is showing to me right now, right at the moment. I'm not marking PDRs from 40 that have formed 40 days ago. I'm not marking everything. I'm marking only the stuff that price is showing me in present price action, right? And there's not many. See, I was on weekly chart. What I saw on weekly chart, that's a swing high. I marked the swing high. Then I dropped down to the daily chart. I was watching if that swing high is a high probability liquidity level on daily chart. Then what did I saw on daily chart? Yes, it's a equal high with a fair value gap, right? Then I know now I know that the weekly and the daily chart is supporting me, showing me that it's a bullish price action, right? Then I dropped down to the 4-hour chart, and I was like, if my 4-hour chart supporting the bias that I got from the daily and the weekly chart on 4-hour, yes, we identified the SMT there, right here, right? Then we also saw a inversion. We dropped down to the lower time frame hourly chart. We saw this equal high, then an unfilled fair value gap, then another equal high, which everything is supporting us a bullish price action that will take us at this equal high, this PPR, and this right up here. So even after showing you how I do it so simply, some of you will ask me questions like, how do you decide bias? So now after that, do you wanna see me being humble? Well, I don't have that much level of patience, right? So they are the lazy people, okay? There are someone who want a signal, and I am not gonna give that to them my attention. I don't care about the clout, okay? I never advertised. I never even shared my streams on my Twitter where I got like 45,000 followers. So it's not something that I'm doing for clout. I'm stopping after November. So I don't care if you are fucking lazy. I'm gonna block you. I'm gonna ban you. So, this is something that I enjoy, okay? This is something that I enjoy. So don't be a stupid person, a lazy one. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're asking me a question like why you mark this inversion, then I love to answer it. Okay, because I didn't answer it. You are asking me a question which, these are the questions that you should be asking. Why is it a strong PDA? Why is it a BPR? Why this SMT should hold? Why are you not expecting price going below this equal low? These are the questions that an attentive student asks. A lazy student, he will ask me, okay, what is IPTA? Can you explain IPTA? This is something our mentor explained years ago. So now let's go to Nasdaq. We still got 20 minutes before our next macro starts, right? So what do I see here? What do I see here? So let's do it again. What we did on Dow, we'll do the same thing on Nasdaq, okay? So what do I see on Nasdaq? Basically, okay, I'm only gonna mark, so watch me carefully. I'm only gonna mark the PDAs that are near and make sense to me, okay? And what do I see here? I see this week, okay, there's no swing high. This swing high already got taken by price. So what do I see here? It's a new week candle forming, and I see a big wick right here. So on Nasdaq, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure this week. And as we know already, okay, as most of you, I'm assuming that you passed your newbie phase, right? You know that when we see a big wick like this, we measure it. We expect to see price trading all the way up at the consequent encroachment and the upper quadrant and showing a good reaction from there, right? So this is what you expect. Now this is a very basic stuff. So this is the only thing that I got from the weekly chart on Nasdaq. Seems like price is trading higher. And we also got this volume imbalance, but I believe it will not be effective today because as we don't have a high impact news. For price to drive so lower at New York session, we need a high impact news. So we don't have it here, right? We don't have it today, so I'm only gonna mark it, but I'm not gonna watch this today. What I'm gonna watch, the lower quadrant of this week, the midway of this week, and so here's another gem. Okay, here's another gem that I'm gonna share. When you are measuring a week from the weekly chart, a big week from the weekly chart, you will expect to see price trading to 0.25. This is where the price will get sensitive. This is on lower time frame. This is where you will get your 2-hour trade idea. Okay, when you are trading on lower time frame and you are watching a big week, what do I mean by lower time frame? 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute, 30 second. Okay, you will expect to see price reaching for 0.5%. So what I'm trying to say is, on weekly chart, this level is gonna be high probability. On lower time frame, this one is gonna be a higher probability. Oh, what am I saying? This one is a high probability on weekly chart. This level is low probability on lower time frame. So put it on your notes. When you are measuring a week on higher time frame, the lower quadrant will be high probability. When you are measuring a week on lower time frame, then lower quadrant will be low probability. On lower time frame, 0.5% is gonna be the high probability, because this is a weekly chart, right? After price reaches at these levels, if you drop down to the 1 minute chart, 3 minute, 5 minute chart, you will see price retracing a little bit lower and giving you a 2-hour setup. So I hope it makes sense. Now let's go to the daily chart. And on daily, I'm gonna zoom out and let's see what's happening here. What is happening here? So we had a volume imbalance, we traded through it, we have a fair value gap, and now we have a volume imbalance right up here. So let me hide the indicator, and we got a volume imbalance right up here. And price hit this volume imbalance, no candles body closure, right? So this volume imbalance is still effective, and there's another stuff that is going on here, this inversion. Inversion at SMR price level. The folks who are inside my 3-day workshop, you guys know how important this level is, right? This inversion is powerful, but inversion is powerful at certain places. And this is a unique model that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. And the folks who are not inside there, trust me, you are missing out a lot. So price came back up, hit our inversion at SMR, and now we can expect to see a rejection. It already happened on Wednesday. We didn't trade it on Friday because as we had a Thanksgiving on Thursday. Then on Friday was low probability, a very zoned price action. So today we can expect to see what happens. So we cleared out this swing low right here, then we moved aggressively higher, and we are expecting price to go higher. Right, on weekly chart we saw this week. So these are the levels that are gonna be important for us. So what we are gonna do now, we will drop down to the lower time frame and see if there's any PDA that price can target inside here. We will look for high probability liquidity levels, equal highs, trend line liquidity, unfilled fair value gaps up here. So now let's go to daily. Okay, so on daily we got another week. These are rejection blocks. 4 hour, we still need more confirmation. Okay, so visibility hours. Visible. Okay, so we got a week. This is the SMT, right? This was the SMT that we saw on Dow. So SMT, sorry, this was our equal low. Price cleared out the equal low, and then it's moving higher. So this is another proof of what I preach, that price will not reverse until it clears out strong liquidity levels. So what do you see here? Price cleared out this strong liquidity level, now it's reversing. We also got support from the consequent encroachment of this big wick. So this is what I told you guys. If you see a big wick on higher time frame, you will expect to see price getting sensitive at the upper lower quadrant. But when you were measuring it on lower time frame, you'll expect to see price reaching for the consequent encroachment, as that level is high probability. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Now, what else do I see here? So we got an implied fair value gap. And look up here, okay, folks. This is our consequent encroachment, right? From the weekly. This is the level that we got from the weekly candles wick. And what do we see here? We have our equal high up here. So this is what I was telling you, that we want to see. We are not just blindly targeting the 0.5%, right? We will drop down to the lower time frame and see if lower time frame is supporting our higher time frame narrative. Why price should reach up here? This is the narrative, which is more important than a bias. Without a narrative, I don't think like you can decide a high probability bias. So this is our equal high, and this is the inversion that we got from the daily chart, inversion at SMR, right? And what else do we have here? So we got this trend line liquidity going on. I believe if we drop down to the lower time frame more, it will start making sense. So we got, okay, 0.25 level is coming up here, right? See, we got an equal high up here. So this is why I told you guys that this level is gonna be very high probability on lower time frame, and as you can see, it is high probability on lower time frame. Right, we got a high probability liquidity level up here. We got a volume imbalance down here. That okay, we got another one. We got another equal high up here. So we'll see if price is providing us any opportunity that will take us higher or a trade. Okay, we have 820 macro that is running now. Now I'll drop down to the 15-minute and see what's happening here. So on sell side, we don't have much equal lows other than this one. Okay, on sell side, okay, so there, now that I'm dropping on lower time frame, I believe price will gravitate lower after clearing out either of these two equal highs. Okay, either of these two equal highs. And how will you know that price will reverse? For that, you will have to keep watching my stream without quitting. So we got an equal low down here, and we know price will not reverse until it clears out a major relative equal high, right? So we also traded from this fair value gap. We got multiple relative equal lows down here. On Nasdaq, it seems like we got a lot of relative, we got both of the liquidities, right? We got both of the liquidities. So now let's see, we'll wait. It's a Monday, right? We are not gonna push yourself hard to look for a setup or to take a trade. Rather, we will watch chart with logic and narrative, and we will wait patiently. I don't know about you, but if I don't see anything that I consider as high probability, I'm just gonna watch what price does. So this is, let's go to 1 minute chart. Oh, 1 minute is so choppy on top. Yeah, this display is like, before I had a screen here 32-inch, and now it's broken, and now I'm watching chart on 27-inch, and it's looking so small. Oh. Anyway, so we want to see price hitting the inversion and This inversion, we got it from where? We got it from the 4-hour chart, right? So I'll put Dow here. Before I do that, let's look at, yeah, I'm gonna put Dow here. Dow seems better to me, as with on Dow we have this equal high. So I'm gonna put Nasdaq here and we'll watch it. We got a break, we don't have a breaker here, so I'm not gonna stress myself looking at Nasdaq. And we'll put ES up here. No gold today, okay? No gold on Monday. So reset chart. Because I don't have another screen to watch gold, I am not analyzing gold since morning, so I'm not just gonna go on gold and give you something that I don't believe is high probability. So we got an inversion. I believe price will get support from here, okay folks, so we'll see. We are waiting. We got a fair value gap down here as well. This is our higher time frame price level. If you go on 4-hour chart, you'll see me talking about this inversion right here. So 4-hour chart, we got our inversion. Now all we want to see is price trading down, hit this inversion, and then pushing higher. You need 49-inch screen. I don't need it. I feel like 49 inch is too big. We'll see if I need it or not. Maybe next year. This year I'm done upgrading my setup. I upgraded like 2 times. Next year I'll see if I want to upgrade to 49. Yeah, it looks cool, right? When we have 2 49-inch screen, which will be like 4 screen. Yeah, we'll see. So relative equal lows down here, a swing low right here. So let's see if price comes all the way down, hits this swing low, and then goes up. So are you guys enjoying my stream so far? If so, if you are finding it educational, I believe no one else is doing that. So if you are appreciating what I'm doing for you, then can you please thumbs up the like button? You will show me your support. Let's see how many of you are learning. The likes will show to me that this many people are learning. Rest of them, I'll be like, yeah, they're just passerby. So let's see how many of you are learning. 825. Okay, if price is not clearing this level or not providing us a setup inside our 820 to 840 macro, then there's another high probability macro that is 920 to 940. Today we don't have a news at 830, right? So 850 to 910 macro is low probability, right? So we'll wait for, this is the macro that I'm watching. If there's no setup happening at 8 to 830, by 830 I'm not gonna take any setup. I'm gonna wait for 930, because 930 the market will open, and if we are still trading right here, I believe we'll see some volatility like this. Okay, let me put it into perspective like this, and this is what I'm expecting. If it's not happening before 930, then at 930 this is what I'm expecting. We got a BPR up here, we got multiple high probability targets. Our higher time frame is suggesting us higher price action, so we'll see. Okay, I'm someone who I don't feel anything when I'm waiting for my high probability setup to show up. Okay, this is something that took years for me to build inside me, the patience. So yeah, I'm glad that I'm patient. So I'm gonna wait. If I don't see anything, I'm telling you guys again, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna look for a setup. It's a Monday. We know that Mondays are usually, you know, like choppy with low volume, low volatility. So we'll see. But you guys got the idea, you guys got the bias. So what I'm gonna suggest you also is like, don't rely on my analysis, okay? If you have your own analysis and it's against me, or like it's similar to me but different, then stick with your one, okay? Because you should not be, this is why I don't share my execution, because that makes you relying on me, and this is not something that a trader should aim for. You should be targeting to do it on your own, right? Not relying on me. Yes, you can watch me to learn, but at the end of the day, if you are not doing it on your own, trust me, you won't be able to make your dream come true, which is making consistent money from trading, right? Quitting your job. My chart colors. Okay, this is my chart colors. This is the code. Everything else is black canvas. This is the color code. Please, what do you think about trading in December? I have heard some people say the price action is not favorable. See, this is the same thing that I was telling just 2 minutes ago. Then if you don't know what's gonna happen on December, so why are you listening to someone else? He's telling from his own experience, and you don't even have an experience. So look on December, what's happening there, and see if you can trade it there. Someone can trade it, doesn't mean you can't. Price action is happening, volatility is there. So yeah, why not? Why not look for a setup? Why not see that if there's a high probability setup? Nothing is 100% in trading, folks. So this is something that you will have to understand, okay? Nothing is 100%. That means what? The December that last year was low probability is not gonna be low probability this year. It can be, but as nothing is 100%, it also can be a high probability month. So we'll see what happens on December. I was wondering about another way to look at things. From a prior video, you said something similar to a breaker block is a reclaimed order block. Did I hear this correct? Thank you. Yes, a breaker is a reclaimed order block, but breaker has it's a breaker because it has a stop hunt. Order block don't have a stop hunt. Like suppose I'm gonna show an example here. Where is the order block? So this is a this is a bullish order block, right? Wait, this one. Anyways, everything here is a bullish order block. So this is a bullish order block. It doesn't have a stop hunt. So when price goes above this one, right, this candle right here, I'm just showing you as an example, it becomes a reclaimed order block. Why a breaker is a breaker? Because it has a stop hunt, right? That's why it's a breaker. It's not a reclaimed order block, but these are order block too, and it has a different name. Because of that, because of the stop hunt, it becomes a breaker. Because there's no stop hunt in an order block, and once price trades from it, through it, it becomes a reclaimed order block. Like suppose this one, okay, this is not a breaker, so this up close candle here, we can use it as a reclaimed order block. Once price goes above it, forms a fair value gap, and if we still have targets like we have here, okay, without a target, your setup will not become a high probability setup. So first you will have to identify a high probability target and then look for a model. So we have our order block here, right? So this is a concept that I don't use much, but it's there. So this is the order block. Once price goes above it, it becomes a reclaimed order block. Does it make sense? It doesn't have a stop hunt, but a breaker has specific criteria. If you align it with a reclaimed order block, it won't match. That's why it's a breaker. So see choppy price action, choppy. So 1 minute 30 second, I'm gonna avoid it until 9:30. I'm gonna stick with 3 minute. As soon as price gets inside 9:20 period, I'll drop down to 30 second. Until then, let's watch price here, and let's see what do you guys see here? We generated equal high, equal high, equal high. So I believe at 9:30 we'll have something. We'll have something, okay? Is the 409 breaker valid on lower time frame? 409. This one. What did I told you here? This is the inversion, right? So this breaker is coming inside the inversion. So of course it is important. But I'm not gonna look at this one. Rather, I'm gonna look at this inversion from the higher time frame. As higher time frame PDA is more important than the lower time frame one. So let's do a pool. Right here, start a pool. And let's predict the 9:30 delivery, okay? Let's predict. So this is the reason that I'm waiting for price to get inside time. This is why I see chart with time and price. Here I saw someone mentioning about a 5-minute fair value gap. I believe this is the one, right? This is a BPR. So the folks who don't understand BPR, suppose there's no fair value gap right here, okay? You see a black candle. Suppose there's a wick, okay? The folks who don't understand it, I got a question from some of my students, so I'm gonna explain it here. So suppose this is a wick and there's no fair value gap here, but there is a fair value gap here, right? So that's when you will consider this as an inversion. Right now this is an inversion. Why this is an inversion? Because there's no fair value gap here. Now if I put it out the wick, now there's a fair value gap, right? So it becomes a BPR. So when you have two fair value gap aligning with each other, it becomes a BPR. When you have one fair value gap and it failed, it turns into an inversion. What's more high probability, BPR or inversion? It depends on the price action, but if I just say generally, then BPR is more powerful than inversion. But it always will come back to the target, okay? So why this BPR is supporting price? Why price got resistance from this PPR? Because we have a target down here. We have an unfilled inversion on 4-hour chart. Their price didn't traded inside, right? So it depends on the target. As I told you guys, without a target, without a high probability target, a setup, you cannot tell a setup a high probability without first identifying a high probability target. That means what? A DOL, you need a high probability draw on liquidity to make your setup a high probability. Does it make sense? That's why DOL understanding draw on liquidity is so important. I don't say it as a DOL, relative equal low, relative equal high, because DOL, you already think like DOL is so hard to understand. So I avoid this word in my stream. What I use is equal high, equal low. It's so easy to understand, right? It makes sense. Price has 2 swing lows, so price should go below here. Price has a trend line liquidity up here, so after price clears out a strong liquidity, then it should reverse, right? So this is DOL. When I say equal high, equal low, these are strong high probability draw on liquidity. So if you don't understand where price will go, nothing is high probability. NQ has a cleaner price action. I don't think so. They both are having same price action. NQ is moving with a little bit more volatility. Volatility. So what is this blue line? See, I forgot. So let me check. This blue line is our 15-minute BC right here. So price is coming down towards this BC. Okay, on 1 minute on NQ is way cleaner on NQ, right? NQ generated a breaker with a fair value gap. I'm still gonna wait for 920 to 940 macro. I'm not gonna do anything at 850. So we'll keep an eye on Nasdaq as well. We got our breaker down here, right? We are approaching towards 850 macro. And today is a day where I consider 850 as a low probability, as we don't have any high impact news at 830. Right, so we got a fair value gap down here, which price didn't traded yet. So we'll see. We got targets down here, we got relative equal low down here, very clean level. So let's see if price gets inside this fair value gap, inside our 850 macro or not. Yes, this is what I use as macros, MO2 men. So yeah, you're correct in your direction. So the folks who don't know the macros that I use, I pinned the message, someone texted on chat. So these are the macros that I use personally. I trade until 11. Most of the time I get done by 10. using my 920 to 9, sorry, this is what you typed here, 920 to 930 is not correct. It's 920 to 940. Okay, 1020 to 1040, 1050 to 1110. So yeah, 850 to 910 is high probability when we have news at 830. Okay, when we don't have a news at 830, 820 to 840 is high probability, and 850 to 910 is low probability. What you see me analyzing on my chart, this is what I use. That's the thing that I use. I don't use anything else. New week opening gap. Let's see if there's new week opening gap here. New week, new day opening gap. So do we have it here? Oh god. Number, where is my indicator? Weekly opening gap tonight. Okay, so we got a gap here. This is what? This is a, I can't see it on. Okay, so this is a new week opening gap. We also got a inversion here plus a BPR here. So price came back up, retested the new week opening gap. Now let's see if it goes lower or not. I believe it will go lower and target this swing low, and ultimately this one from this level, as we got rejected from the new week opening gap. Here, 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 here. So multiple times we got rejected. So 66% people are bullish at 930, right? 22% bearish, 12% expecting seek and destroy. So we'll see. Nasdaq from this level showed a good reaction, right? Towards sell side. I believe they will move higher after inside our 920 macro. So Dow, why am I sticking with Dow? Because of the targets that I see on Dow. On Nasdaq, you can see like we do have targets, but not as visible as Dow, right? Nasdaq cleared out buy side liquidity multiple times, 1, 2, 3. And okay, so here was our 3 dive pattern that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. Here 1, 2, 3, at the 4th drive price goes lower. So this is what happened here. Bro, can you explain what is seek and destroy? So who can explain it on chat? The folks who know what a seek and destroy is, can someone explain it for Eneli? Can someone do that? What is seek and destroy? So price cleared out our equal low down here, and we got our inversion, as well as we have this fair value gap here. Okay, so our higher time frame, this daily breaker is supporting us. We also got a SMT to our sell side. So this fair value gap, we'll keep an eye on this one. So we are approaching towards our 850 macro. We'll do nothing but tape reading at 850, and after that we'll see what price is suggesting to us, if we can take a trade higher or not. We cleared out the equal low. We also hit our inversion right here. So if this price action was happening at 920, okay, I would have push button here. I would have put push button here, targeting this high and putting my TP, I suppose, here, not at this equal high, because what I saw, like, price sometimes reverses, okay, without clearing out the swing high. So I get done if I'm taking an early entry. If I'm getting more than 2R, then I don't put my TP at the relative equal highs, rather a little bit lower. So price is going below. We have a fair value gap here. So what we want to see now, okay, what we want to see, Nasdaq is choppier. What I want to see now is price action getting cleaner as we are approaching towards 920 macro, and a breaker forming somewhere here. I want to see a couple of up close candles, then price dropping, hitting the fair value gap, and if price does that, we'll have a breaker up here. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on 1 minute. 1 minute is getting cleaner, and yeah, avoid every liquidity void and volume imbalance that you see. Okay, just look at the liquidity levels. Look at the DOL. This is where price will gravitate. Okay, so let's look at the regular trading hour gap. Do we have any? So this is our regular trading hour gap from last week, right? 24 November. This is our regular trading hour gap up here. So we are also trading inside this regular trading, near to this regular trading hour gap. So let's see what price does. On Nasdaq, I'm expecting lower price action until we reach this BC and clear out this equal low. So these are the levels that I'm gonna watch. This equal high, and we got multiple buy side liquidity, strong buy side liquidity today. So let's see if we get a setup or not. Ultimately this one, then this one. So price moved higher from this inversion right after clearing out the sell side liquidity. From here it's 853. We are trading inside our ICT macro, 850 to 910. very aggressive delivery towards buy side, right? So as I told you guys, this is why I'm not watching Nasdaq, because Nasdaq don't have these targets visible like Dow. Dow has very clean targets. Going towards buy side. 850. If you guys want to take a trade from this inversion, I believe the folks who have experience, they took something here, right? You guys push button, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for 920 macro to get started. But this was a clean setup. I told you guys that nothing here is hindsight. In my stream, you won't be able to show me something that I didn't call, and then I repeated, okay, this is something that I called. It never happens. I outlined this setup. I also showed you the logic from the beginning, why price should go lower, why you should do that, because our bias from the weekly, daily, 4-hour, hourly chart is bullish. So all we are gonna do is looking for a bullish setup, right? And I told you guys that if this price action is happening at 920, right, I'll take it from this inversion. I'm expecting support from this inversion, and it already happened. Now it didn't happen inside the time that I'm expecting. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wait for price to get inside my time period, and if price is clearing out these liquidity levels before inside this macro, then I don't have any interest to trade anymore today. And I'm not gonna get FOMO, because I know that the same skill I'll repeat tomorrow, the same narrative I'll repeat tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll find something. On EAS, see, we have this buy side liquidity. These levels are so clean. On Nasdaq, we formed another breaker. Okay, so we have a high here, another high. So stop hunt, new higher high, down close candles becomes our breaker. And these are not reclaimed order block. Okay, these are breaker. Reclaimed order block, as I told you guys, that it has its own definition. It's different from a breaker. So let's see. So we are coming down again on Dow. So here, what do you guys see here? This is a small breaker, right? So how will you trade it? This is something that I taught. There's nothing that I taught that doesn't repeat on price. Everything about breaker that you can possibly see on chart is taught inside my 3-day workshop. So when you are watching your breaker or identifying a breaker, if you're feeling like you missed something, or it's still like you are making mistakes with breaker, you'll find every information about breaker inside my 3-day workshop. I did a 5-hour long lecture just explaining how breaker works, how it will form, what kind of target it will bring. So we have a breaker here. We have this equal low, and I believe price will go there, go below this equal low. So how will you trade it? We have an inversion here, right? So the way I see breaker, I see it in 3 legs. Price leg 1, 2, 3. In every leg of a breaker, price provides an opportunity, okay, to trade from. And this is something you won't see outside of my community. Trust me, it's a challenge, okay? What I showed about the breaker inside my workshop, it is not available outside anywhere. The idea of the breaker is from ICT, but I went even deeper. It's not out there. So we got a fair value gap here, and as I told you guys, right, I would like to see a breaker forming here. I would like to see up close candle forming here. How did I know that the up close candle will form? Price will go lower. Go back and you will hear me saying, I want to see a breaker here, right, inside or near to this inversion. And now see it's forming these up close candles. Now it's a one big up close candle, but if I drop down to the 30-second, you will see we got a couple of up close candles, right? And we also hit this 3-minute fair value gap down here. So the 3-minute fair value gap should support price. This is the last line of defense, okay, for us to expect higher price action at 9:30. There's a SMT down here. As you guys know, this is a relative equivalent. So if this fails, if this fair value gap fails, we are going lower. As long as this is intact, we can expect to see higher price action. Make sense? So we got our breaker. Now I want to see price activating this breaker. Not now, not inside this macro, but inside my 920 macro. If price don't do that, I'll show market that I'm patient enough to not to push anything or build a setup trade idea with impulsiveness. I'm not gonna do that. So this is our breaker. It's not a breaker yet. I'm expecting it to become a breaker as soon as price goes above it. I want to see a fair value gap here. If price forms a fair value gap, then we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got a stop hunt right down here, right? This is our low. New lower low. So this up close candle becomes our breaker. We got targets up here. So I want to see a fair value gap here, okay? If price trades inside this fair value gap, then let's see. I'll think about risking like a little bit of money, not much, as I don't trust this macro as I do the other ones. So see, not a chance of entry, rather it's moving higher. No gold today, okay? Isn't that BPR on NQ? Yes, this is a BPR. And see, price came back up at this BPR and now it's rejecting towards sell side. I see that. So we still have another candle that will generate a fair value gap here. So price went above the swing high. I'm expecting a fair value gap forming here. And this is the target, okay? If you know, the folks who were inside my 3-day workshop, you know what to do here. And if you did it, this is the target, okay? If you're not holding, max you can go is like the up of this BC. So yeah. So when price provides a setup like this, right? A BPR inside our second leg of fair value breaker, it gives us a very narrow chance, very narrow stop loss. So suppose you can put your limit order here and put your stop loss at the swing high and target this really big low down here from this high. So we got a fair value gap. This is the BC down here. Got our breaker, we got a BC. So now let's see. Let's see, it's 902. I'm gonna wait for 920 macro, okay? I'm gonna wait for 920 macro to start. So see, Nasdaq cleared out the equal high and it's also in a support level, right? So this breaker, you heard me identifying it before price activated it, right? So this is how you want to see yourself after a couple of months. You want to identify a breaker without my help like this before price even forms it. See, I was expecting a breaker here. And when I was expecting when this candle hit this fair value gap, right? This is something that you want to do. And Now let's see. Okay, if we are executing here with a stop loss down here, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just watching 2 hours. So I'm gonna wait for 920 macro, and we got a volume imbalance down here. Volume imbalance, and if I'm correct in my direction, I want to see price going higher from this volume imbalance, but I'm still gonna wait for 920 macro to start. So we hit this fair value gap as well. We hit this inversion from here. So this is a level from where I want to see price going towards buy side liquidity. Your chart looks like delay about a minute. It's not my chart, it's a stream. It's a live stream, Frank, okay? I cannot control the delay. There will be like 30-40 seconds of delay. It's in the lowest latency, so yeah. The delay is because of the stream. I'm watching the same chart as you are watching with the live data. Your chart is delayed, okay? Not mine. So this is why I chose to wait. Okay, so suppose I push the button here, right? And this happened to me so many times. I was pushing button here at 850, and most of the time, like 850 doesn't provide a good setup. It price accumulates order inside this macro, and it accumulates is for the 920 delivery. See, some people has 10-minute delay, some has 40 seconds, some has 1 minute. So it's not a problem from my part. It's a problem from your part. Your internet is slow, not mine. If your internet is good, okay, like you will see the same chart with me with a 10-second delay, then yeah, I believe it's good. It depends on your part. If someone has 1 second delay. So I want to see price going higher from this level, 906. I'm still gonna wait. So patience is steering, folks. Okay, I see the setup here, but I'm still gonna wait. Still gonna wait for price to get inside my macro. So this is something that took a long time for me to learn. Waiting patiently for price to get inside the time where you believe that price will repeat a setup with high probability. Inside here, I see the setup from price getting support from the fair value gap here. This is a BPR as well, right? As you guys can see, this is a BPR. So this is a BPR. Price is getting support from it. We have targets up here, up here, up here. So I'm gonna wait. I believe 930 will provide a better setup. So this is the time window. When something like this happens and I'm feeling impatient, what I do, I just close my chart. And I'll come back at 920 and see if the setup is still there. If it's there, I'm gonna take it or not. If not, then I'm just gonna wait. So this is how I did it. The patience. Okay, so 16, 920 to 940. We wanna see what happens inside this time period. May I ask how many hours is the workshop? It's I believe 11 hours, more than 11, I believe. Yeah, so for $80, 11 hours of content. And there you won't find, okay, that's a challenge. Go, the folks who are inside my workshop, they will tell you there's no trash talk. I never talk trash like about other things to consume time. It's all the talkings, everything is related to trading. 11 hours, everything is jam, everything about the from the basic to the highest level. So see, my patience never fails me to pay. So if I was pushing button here, I would have taken a loss. So this is something that patience does to you, and the experience. I know that 850 to 910 is where price accumulates orders, so I'm still gonna wait for 920 to 940 macro to get started. If I'm taking a loss inside this time period, I won't have a regret. If I was pushing button here where I believe it's not a high probability, of course I will regret, like why I did that. So this is a zone that I don't go. It ruins the mindset. So this is the inversion that we got. We can also use this inversion before price activates the breaker. So now patiently wait, folks, okay? And price going lower. So let's see from where Nasdaq can get support. Nasdaq, this 3 dive pattern is so clean here, right? So Nasdaq, we have this swing low down here and the relative equal low down here. I believe we'll see something. If price is clearing out this swing low, this is gonna be our sell side. This is the internal sell side liquidity. Now if I measure, and I'm expecting bullish price action on Dow. So if Nasdaq is moving opposite, my Nasdaq will go lower. This is why I'm gonna stick with Dow. I have these targets, which I don't have on Nasdaq. Nasdaq has it up here, but Dow is cleaner to me. On ES, we got a fair value gap here on 3-minute, and a lot of equal highs up here. This level is too clean, folks. Okay, so this level, as long as this level is staying, I'm not gonna look for a short. We got another equal low down here. Geeta, what's your Telegram tag? What's your Telegram ID? Yeah, I believe you shared some emoji, that's why you got banned. So oh, we got it. We generated another equal low down here. So I want to see this one getting cleared out, and then we are pushing higher. We have a breaker up here, right? This up close candle, as we did another stop hunt. Mentorship will be only available for the people who are inside my workshop. Okay, so the enrollment will start from, I believe, at the beginning or at the mid of December, but by December. Okay, the live session will start from the mid January. How do I get in your workshop? You will find the link in the description below. It says join my 3-day workshop. Any ICT material I should watch before going into your workshop? If you are very new, I would highly recommend you not to join my workshop. Okay, if you are very beginner, like you found ICT this month or 2 months ago and you have no idea what you are doing, then stick with our mentors teaching. Then go through like 2022 mentorship. Then yeah, the video that he made there, watch those first, make sense with that, and watch if you can identify a fair value gap constantly on chart and take 2-hour trades. If you can do that, you have a good idea of. Yeah, Geeta, I understood. Drop your Telegram ID and I'll see like if you are banned or not. More than 1 year of experience trading. Yeah, if you have 1 year experience, then I believe you are ready to join. How do you join if you don't have Telegram? You open a Telegram, then you join. So see, patience is tiring, right? Patience takes a lot of time to build, and once you are there, it's just there, it's just inside you, it's in your character. So Vipu Patel, if you missed the workshop, do you still have an opportunity to join mentorship if you purchase the workshop? Yeah, the folks who missed the workshop, they can access the recording. The difference between when the workshop was happening, that it was happening live. Okay, I was explaining live and getting questions from my student live, but when the workshop ended, right, but the recordings are same and the recordings are available for purchase. Yes, Geeta, I understood. Your baby picked your phone. You have been telling it for like 10 minutes. Just drop your Telegram ID and I'll see like if you are banned or not. If you are banned, I'll unban you. Okay? Don't spam the chat. Otherwise, I'm gonna ban you here as well. And this is what you are doing. So we see the equal low down here. I want to see this, something like this. Okay? Inversion, then equal high. So this is my narrative for a 920 when we are getting inside 920. Why am I so nimble today? Otherwise I find a setup like a suppose 820 or something like this, because it's a Monday. Okay, on Monday you will have to be nimble with your analysis, because high probability is price will be choppy most of the time, but sometimes it's like good. But the high probably like 60 to 70% of the time you'll see Monday is so choppy. So rather don't try to force anything on Monday. And as I always tell, nothing is 100% in trading. So the Monday there was low probability last week, it can be high probability this week. So it will depend on if you can read the price action. If you can read the price action, you will be able to identify if it's a high probability Monday or not. Like I'm doing here, I do see my targets up here, right? And all I'm waiting for price to get inside the time where I saw a setup repeating again and again. And this is the time right here, 920 to 940. This is the level where I trust the price will over time generate me huge profit inside this time period with the same repetitive move. I don't know the outcome of today's trade. Okay, I don't know if the today's trade is gonna be a winner or a loser, but I know over time with a long hundreds of trades, 920 to 940 macro will generate me profit, more profit than the losses. And if I put it into a ratio, it comes in 60 to 70% of the time. So this is something that you should be understanding, right? If you believe in a time period and you see what I teach you guys, that a breaker will form inside this 920 to 940, then trust in the process. Okay, the breaker will keep repeating inside the time period. It's not a guarantee that the breaker that you identify today will turn out to be a profitable trade, but it's a guarantee that over time it will turn out to be a profitable model. So we got, so price is basically like chopping around. Look at yes, the barcode pattern, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm not gonna push anything until if I don't see it 920 to 940, then I'm gonna wait for 950 macro. If I don't see it there, I'm closing my today's session. So we are inside our macro. Let's take a look on dollar, right? What is dollar doing? Dollar. So dollar, wanna see dollar going lower, right? As we have a bullish bias on indices, and seems like just with one look we can identify this equal low down here, this one right here. So the question is, from where can dollar reject? We have a breaker here. I'm on hourly chart on dollar. So we got a breaker. This is a bearish breaker. We got equal lows that I teach you guys, that if you see a breaker and the breaker is the correct breaker, you will also see target with the breaker, and this is the target. So now let's go to 15-minute. Very clean level, right? Price also did a stop hunt up here. So if I'm right, correcting indicating the market on indices, which is higher, specifically on Dow, then I want to see dollar as it cleared out the swing high. I want to see dollar moving lower. So I'm gonna put an alert here and the alert here. The analysis will be invalid if price is going above the swing high. Okay, the breaker should hold. If the breaker is not holding, then price will continue going higher, but I believe dollar will go lower. But again, this is not something that you should be relying on 100% if you are looking for a trade. Do we have any new week opening gap here? Let me see. Okay, we do have a new week opening gap. Is it so small? We do have something here. So anyway, I want to see dollar pushing lower. So let's see. Let's see what they do. So we are trading inside this 3-minute fair value gap down here, also inside this 4-hour inversion. So we got our higher time frame, and I want to see price going above this 830 opening. Okay, I want to see price going above this 830 opening, and this is the inversion that we'll use. I don't see a clean breaker here though. Inspire me. I do not trade DR IDR system. There's another question that I got. What should you do if you trade two correlated pairs but they're not in sync for X, gold and dollar? What do you mean? I don't get your question. Is your inversion a higher time frame PDR? Yes. See the 4-hour mark here. It's a 4-hour PDR. So let's drop down to 30 seconds. Do we see a breaker? I see this inversion. Now let's see if this inversion gives me a chance to enter. Let's see. Okay. Inversion. Can't we use the inversion as the reaper breaker? Which one? This one? Yes, you can. I'm not gonna show something that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. Okay, I'm not gonna reveal what I taught, but if you see it and you believe that this is what I taught inside my mentorship workshop, then you should be going with it. Give your opinion on crude oil. I already gave my opinion on crude oil in my last stream. So we're pushing higher, right? Now let's look for an opportunity to enter. I want to see a fair value gap here. 924. I don't see a clean breaker here though. Otherwise, I'd have taken a trade. Iman, can you please explain why SMT is important before entering? I still got confused on this matter. SMT is not important. I most of the time don't even look for a SMT when I'm trading a breaker. You don't need to, okay, Iman. If this is what is confusing you, trust me, you don't need a SMT to get a high probability breaker. All I'll highly recommend you to do until the breaker itself gets clear in your understanding, just mark the low, lower low, see if price is following the rules that I shared in my 3-day workshop about the breaker. If it's following that, go with it. You don't have to find a SMT below a breaker or something like this to make sense. You don't need it. It just works as an extra confirmation, okay? Once you are good with breaker, once you understand the breaker, only then look for a new concept to understand. Don't mix it. If you do, trust me, it will take much longer for you to become profitable. This is something that I didn't do, okay? This is why I'm grateful to my mentor. So 926, and 2 hours from here is gonna be something like this. Okay, we got our inversion activated. I wanted to see a breaker for a rally gap here. So I believe we'll keep higher, keep pushing higher. Should I push the button? How many contracts can I take? 350. I think we can risk 350. It's not gonna affect me. So if price comes down here, hits this inversion, then I'm gonna put a limit here. 201,926. I believe we'll go higher. So let's go. Let's do it. Nasdaq 35,375. What do you mean? 35,375 BPR is not important. Where I'm not looking at Nasdaq. Let's see. This one is already traded. Price already traded from it. See that? Price came back up, hit this BPR, then went down. And I told you guys that this is something that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. If you are in this trade, then you should be closing your trade at this BC. Which you got now. With this BC, we can use it as an inversion. Okay, this is, I believe, an hourly BC. I believe we can use it as an inversion. If price is clearing out this equal high without giving me an entry, I'm closing this trade. I don't have any interest after that. I want to see price hitting my limit order before clearing out these targets. These ones. Especially this one. Now let's wait. Let's wait 928. We got 2 minutes before the volatility. comes in. We got more equal high. That's what we want to see when price is dropping towards our target, our order. We want to see price generating more and more equal high. More and more equal high. So all we are gonna do is wait, okay, for price to bring in the 930 volatility. Come on, without giving me entry. Damn, that's what happens, okay? Like, this is something that happens. Price didn't give me entry. But it went for my target. See? Painful, right? I wanted to see price coming down. So, like, it was how many points? Man, 1 point. Come on. Come on, it's 1 point. And it didn't hit it. It didn't hit my limit order. It went exactly where I was waiting to see price going, right? But it didn't give entries, even going higher. So I'm gonna close my limit order. It's not valid anymore. Damn, it would have been a profitable trade. Anyway, okay, don't get the FOMO and regret. I'm not regretting, because the same skill that you saw me repeating, it will happen again, folks, okay? Why should I care about missing out a trade? I don't. It happened to me so many times. But you learned something, right? The folks who have watching my stream since the morning, you watch me deciding a correct bias, right? Deciding the target, deciding where price will go, and you will not see it anywhere else. Trust me, you won't. So if you've been watching, if you found it insightful, can I expect thumbs up from you? Let's go to how many likes we have now. Let's go to 400 likes, folks, okay? For this great calling, great understanding of bias, for this great narrative, can we get to 400 likes? Can we do that? Nice call on bias, nice call on the trade, but trade price didn't give me entry. See, I was also right sticking with US30. And US30 hit basically our every target that we wanted to see price trading, right? We wanted to see price trading bullish. It did that. Equal high target. See, I didn't told you guys that it will go lower. I didn't indicate it two-way. I indicated one way. So if you have been watching my stream, let me know in the chat if you did that, if you found it insightful, and hit the thumbs up button, folks. Hit it. Hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, I'll be watching for another trade. We also hit a new week opening gap, I believe. So price coming lower. Let's go to 400 likes, okay? Until we reach 400 likes, I'm not talking. Okay, so now we'll wait for 950 to get started. Okay, we had a BPR here that we got from our 3-minute chart, I believe. Yes, so this one is also traded. It was a 5-minute BPR. Where was it? Okay, so it was a 15-minute BPR. Now, okay, now that price cleared out our buy side liquidity, our strong target, we can expect to see price reversing and hunting where? Going where? Going at the relative equal low that it generated right here. Okay, so let's wait for another setup to get generated. So see, the majority of you who called the market bullish at 9:30 was right? So I'm gonna end the pool, and 65% called the 9:30 delivery bullish, bearish 25%, 9% of you expected a seek and destroy. Majority was correct. So I'm gonna keep doing these pools, and we'll see when the majority is right, how many times we get right, how many times the majority gets right, and how many times majority gets wrong. We got an inversion up here. So we have our breaker here, right? This is a breaker. And let's see if price trades inside it. We also got a volume imbalance up here. So this is our breaker. Nasdaq also cleared out the sell side liquidity from here. It provided a good setup from this inversion, right? We had this fair value gap from hourly, I believe, then we traded inside it, and that when it was here, I told you guys that a good setup will be from this inversion, and it did. Nasdaq went up, cleared out all the liquidity, buy side liquidity, the high probability liquidities that we had. Nasdaq generated a SMT down here, right? This is a SMT. We also hit this volume balance. 938. Let's drop down to 30 seconds. See, 30-second chart is now cleaner, right? So let's see if we can get any setup from here. Victor is like, the question is who would have closed out and who would have kept holding and got stopped out. This is something that I don't do. I max that I target is 4R. My high probability target is 2R. Okay, I don't hold after that. It doesn't matter if a price is like a 10R target, I'm not holding because of this. This is something that happens on price. Now we are out of our macro, so I'm gonna wait for 950 macro to provide me a setup. Until then, I'm not doing anything. All I'm gonna do is wait again. I took 4R. How many of you pushed the button? How many of you took the trade? How many of you longed at 9:30? Can you let me know in the chat? How many of you made some money? I didn't. I waited, but what about you? It was just 1 point of difference, right? My limit was somewhere here. Sorry, somewhere here. And only with 1 point of difference, the limit didn't got executed. Damn, a lot of you made money. I longed and made about 600. Lucky, that's awesome. Me, I sold Nasdaq. Nice. Me. Okay, tape reading with you. That's the best thing that you are doing. Okay, tape reading. You are gaining experience. I did on the 30-second tiny breaker. Yes, this one. Yeah, I saw it, but there I was expecting a fair value gap here. If suppose a fair value gap formed here, I would have pushed the button here. What price did is an immediate rebalance at this breaker, and I didn't consider it as high probability. So all I'm gonna do is now wait. If price wanna move higher at 950, I would love to see price generating equal highs like it did here, right? So I'm gonna wait. Yes, I went long. Nice. I made $60. Nice. 1K for me. 3%. That's cool. People are making 3%. 200 in 21 accounts. KPI trading. You have 21 accounts. What is it? Is it live or is it funded accounts or challenge? I did not, because I never trade before 940. Yeah, stick with your rules. Where you believe price will become high probability, that's where you should be looking at, right? I went long and got out at equal high. So that, folks, okay, I believe some of you have questioned why I was waited for inversion to get hit, this one exactly, right? Why I was waiting for this inversion to get hit. So this is something that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. I was watching this inversion as a SMR inversion. So the inversion that forms at SMR is very powerful. And this is something that I taught inside my 3-day workshop. Okay, so if you are interested in the workshop and the knowledge that I'm sharing here, it goes way deeper. If you're feeling like you are missing out something, you should be checking out my 3-day workshop, and you'll find the link in the description to join. See, SMR? Yes. This is another concept. All of you know about the inversion, but inversion goes way deeper. The lags, inversion forms into different price lags, and that's where it becomes high probability. Inversion alone is not high probability. Inversion forming at a high probability price lag will give you a high probability trade. Yes, smart money reversal. So if you want to find it out more, the link is in the description below. So what do we have here? Okay, if price is going below these levels, these down close candles, we will have a bearish breaker. We have an implied fair value gap up here, right? I'm gonna wait for 950 macro to get started. It's 943. I want to see 940 macro to get started. Sorry, 950 macro, 950 to 1010, and this is gonna be the last one that I'm tape reading. And on Nasdaq hit the new week opening gap up here. We got a BPR, but we are not trading inside our macro. We generate a relative equal low down here. Go to 15 minutes and let's see what price is doing here. So we had relative equal highs up here. So price cleared it as well. So on long-term basis, as I told you guys when I started my stream, I want to see price reaching for here. This is my long-term bias at this level on Dow. Okay, we have equal high up here, and an unfilled fair value gap on daily chart. The fair value gap is in a form of CB. Inspire me, I'm not doing it for clout. This is why. So we got rejected from our 8:30 opening. So these are the price levels, folks, that you should be looking at. Okay, 8:30 opening, 9:30 opening, and these are levels where price uses it's same as we use it on the true day open. Okay, we expect to see price going above it, and when it does that, we look for a bullish trade. When it goes below it, the same concept is here. 8:30 opening, 9:30 opening, and here we have our weekly opening price, right, alongside with a BPR, sorry, new week opening gap. Price came up, hit this weekly opening price, hit the new week opening gap, and then it sharply dropped towards sell side. So let's look at dollar. What dollar did? So see, I told you guys, as we are bullish on stocks, right? I told you guys that the delivery, I'm expecting at 9:30 is gonna be bullish, and the delivery on dollar will be bearish. And see, the 9:30 delivery happened, and it happened lower. We generated equal high up here, right? So if dollar goes up, on indices we are going down. So what I will be watching here is that if price is clearing this level out before our macro gets started. If not, I believe dollar will push higher. Okay, and if dollar pushes higher, we should be looking for bearish trades. We got a breaker here, so this is our breaker. Do we have targets? We are not just randomly looking for a pattern to trade. We want to see target. We have a volume balance down here. The price didn't trade it. We also got an unfilled fair value gap. Right here. So let's mark it like this, and we are trading inside these down close candles. So let's see from where we can take an entry. 949, we are getting inside our macro. Let's see if price does a stop hunt up here. We got a volume imbalance up here as well. If it does that, if price comes up, he does a stop hunt, I believe we'll be able to see another trade. What's the significance of 8:30 opening? The significance that 12 o'clock opening has is the same. Thank you, HYDRA. Improved a lot. Every day when I tape read in your stream, I made a nice profit on NQ at 920 to 940. Can't wait for the mentorship. You're welcome, Joe. You are welcome. 950. If you are focusing on Dow, would you suddenly switch to enter a trade on another pair? I would, but I don't see the price action on Nasdaq cleaner as I want to see it. Like look at the price action on Nasdaq. So I'm gonna stick with Dow. YM is inside the 5-minute breaker. Let's see. 5-minute, yeah. So we have a high here. Price generated a new higher high. So these all of these down close candles becomes our breaker. Now all we have to find out is from where can price reject. And what I believe is like this is a good rejection point. This swing high, as we have this volume imbalance up here. So we are trading inside our macro 950, right? So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for price to reach this high where I believe this has a high probability, this swing high. If it's not happening, then I'm just gonna wait. Wendy, normally if you get a trade in early morning, do you close your charts or do you tape read the remaining macros? I don't. If I get a trade, if I get a winning trade like I usually do at 9:20, then I'm not gonna push the button anymore. KPI trading HYDRA, you are explaining ICT concept even better than Michael. Congrats. And this is something that I don't want to take. If you are understanding better, it's on you. But he's the mentor, okay? He's the mentor. I'll never be able to explain it better than him. I learned from him. So yeah, he's the mentor. So what are the high probability macros you trade depending on news? Thanks. I already told it. If we have news at 8:30, then what's the macro? Then 8:50 to 9:10 new macro is a high probability. If we have news at 9:30 or like suppose 9:15, then 9:50 macro is gonna be the high probability. So news, when the news is coming, the macro that is after the news is high probability. It's as simple as this. So price came down. This is the volume imbalance right there we have. So let's see the volume imbalance on 5-minute chart. So I want to see something. Okay, I want to see something forming here, which I don't see yet. We did a stop hunt below here. We did formed a new lower low. So these up close candles becomes our breaker. Do I have targets? Yes, I do have targets. So now let's see if this breaker provides me opportunity to enter in a trade. So this is the last trade that I'm gonna take today. I want to see a fair value gap forming here. So this is our stop hunt. This is our new lower low that hit the deep discount PDA on 5-minute chart. So this is our new lower low. Where is it? Right here. We got a fair value gap, right? So I'm gonna this is another setup that I believe is possible, and the stop loss is gonna be below here, and the target is gonna be this volume imbalance up here. Now I would like to see price trading inside this volume imbalance, fair value gap, and then pushing higher. If it does that, I'll have an entry. So let's see how much I can risk. 7 contracts is coming at 420. Yes, I can do that. So 950 bias is bullish. So the trades that will look in the bullish direction is high probability. So let's see if this one gives me entry. Gonna take like 6 contracts. Yeah, 360 now. Let's see. Okay, this one is gonna give me entry, I believe. So let's wait, and we am in. This is turning out to be a loss. I'm closing my stream. This is gonna be the last trade I'm taking. And as we generated more equal high up here, I wanna see price pushing higher. It's happening. Okay, so that's another thing, folks. Okay, when price is having an aggressive delivery, aggressive return back to the breaker, what I saw from my experience is that it fails. So now let's see what happens here. I can risk $350. That's why I'm willing to take this one. So the way I see chart is how much I'm willing to risk in a setup. So this is a setup that I'm willing to risk 350, and this is the target that I'm gonna, after price hit goes up here, right, I'll see like if I can hold or close. Price moved in my favor. I'm gonna minimize the stop loss like this. Less risk, more profit. If I toggle on the execution mark, the execution level like this. As soon as price goes above this swing high, right, I'll put my stop loss at break even. Until then, I'm willing to take the risk that price is offering me here. I'm gonna minimize my stop loss slowly like this. It generated another equal high up here. Do you guys see this? So when price is doing that, it's an indication from price that I want to move higher. So I saw this. I want to see price moving higher from this level, 958. So yes, we do have an equal low right down here, right? So let's see, we also have a big wick that is not traded yet. So let's see, folks. Be careful, news after 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm expecting news to deliver bullish. And that's why I only risk like $350. Usually I go for like $500 in risk. But because of the news, as we have, this is a medium impact. I'm expecting bullish price action. So let's see. Are you trading a top step account? Yes. This is a challenge account. So Dixie pushing up. Yeah. So Dixie in dollar. If this one hitting stop loss, I'm done. On dollar, see, I told you guys the dollar should go higher from this level. Dollar showed a good support. Now let's see what my trade here brings to me. Very narrow stop loss. So price came back to this fair value gap again. News in 1 minute. The high medium impact news that is coming. 952. We got high relative equal highs up here, so I believe price will push higher. See, price is pushing higher. I'm putting my stop loss at break even. And now I don't have any risk, right? So even if price is coming down, clearing me out, I don't have a risk. I don't have anything to lose rather than experience to gain. See? No risk. So price generated another equal high. and it came down. I still have 5 more. And see, anyway, see, I didn't take any loss because of the way I manage my stop loss, right? I was expecting price hitting this volume imbalance right up here. Do you guys see this one? But anyway, it's a news delivery. Thanks for your insight, HYDRA. You're welcome. $1,000 on the day and I'm done. You're welcome. How many of you made money here? I believe price will still push higher. And it's going higher, right? So no risk. I didn't lose anything and didn't gain anything. So Monday as usual. But how many of you learned something from here? See, I saw the breaker. Before I saw it, I told you guys that these are the levels that I want to see price hitting and then forming a breaker, right? Price formed a breaker. I dropped down to, this breaker was not visible on 1 minute. Dropped down to the 30-second. Took the trade in the fair value gap. Managed it perfectly. So this is something that every Twitter trader will preach, like they can manage it like me, but they don't. Right, so this is gonna be it for today, folks. I believe you guys found my stream today insightful. 2 great callings. 3, okay, not 2. 3 callings, not even a single one is wrong. The thing is, it didn't give me profit, but some of you made profit plus experience, right? I'm transferring my experience to you through my chart reading skill, through these live streams. So 1 calling here on dollar. Another one at 9:30. There's no execution, as you can see. I waited for the whole day for this one to take. Didn't hit the limit. Then this one, price became choppy as the news got released. 3 callings, not even a single loss. Even here, the calling was good, but see, price came down, hit my stop loss, but no loss at all. So I hope you guys found my stream insightful. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, and this is a funded account, okay? As I told you guys that I'm gonna trade a funded account and see if I can pass it before I end my stream on December. So far I made in this account like 3,193. It's a 100k account. It's a challenge account. It's not a funded account. I'm not trading my funded account as I don't have monitors. I have 2. So this is the only account I'm trading. Here you can see 3k profit. I need 3k more to pass this account. So I'll see if I can do it in my live stream with calling the markets with you. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow as well at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you there. And that's gonna be it for today, folks. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, on your way back, hit the thumbs up button before you leave. So this is gonna be it. I'm closing it here. Peace breaker army. Peace.